morning, everybody. My name's Craig Stevens. I'm the fire chief here in Citrus County. I appreciate the opportunity to be here for you guys today and talk about, firefighting. I started firefighting when I was actually I guess I would have been a sophomore in high school. And then, of course, I was a volunteer firefighter. And back in those days, you could volunteer when you were 16 years old and can drive. So I became a volunteer firefighter in 1991 in Citrus County here. And then, of course, I started that venture to become a career firefighter as I graduated high school. During that tenure, I've learned that, to be a firefighter, you have to have really good work ethics and you have to have integrity. And we'll talk about that a little bit more. Going through my career path, initially I went into the fire service thinking, technical skills. I want to be on this truck all the time and I don't ever want to come off of it. Career firefighters, they work a 24-hour shift and then they're off for 2 days. So basically they work 24 on, 48 off. So this career path obviously is probably one of the best career paths if you want to take vacation times and have family time. Working 24 hours a day and then having 48 hours off, you work 10 days a month. So, going back to being on the truck and having the technical skills, those technical skills require a lot of endurance physically and a lot of good, fast thinking skills to where you can make good decisions when you arrive on an emergency. And then, of course, going into the ranks of where I'm at today as a fire chief, those skill levels change quite a bit. Those skill levels now become leadership. They become, truly a collaborative effort to work with other county departments, the sheriff's office, emergency management. So there are several of those things that we have to put together at my level. Being on the truck, you work with those people and those other organizations, but you're face-to-face with them, working with them daily. Becoming a firefighter is probably one of the things that I wanted to do as a kid, I won't lie. Everybody wants to drive the big red truck, right? But the main reason that I wanted to become a firefighter is because my father was a firefighter here in Citrus County. He was a volunteer firefighter. He was actually the fire chief of the DeRosa Fire Station, which is out in the northwest corner of Citrus County. And watching him, do what he did kind of drove me to where I am today. Being the fire chief wasn't initially my plan, but it has become my plan because I wanted to help make this county, make this community better than what it is today. And to do that, you have to be in a leadership role. And I've worked through many fire chiefs. I worked through many county administrators. We actually used to work for the sheriff's office. If you go back in 2011, we worked for the sheriff, and then of course we came back to the county in 2017. Most recently, some of you may know, we actually took over the EMS services. So now all the EMTs and paramedics that work on the ambulances are also underneath fire rescue. Which gives us more employment opportunities for those that want to stay in the medical field, want to be on an ambulance. We have paramedics and EMTs that work the same shifts. They work 24 hours on, 48 hours off. If you don't like that schedule, we also have 12-hour paramedics and EMTs that work 12-hour shifts so they can be home with their families at night. And then, of course, being a paramedic and an EMT, as being a firefighter, those same traits hold true. You got to have good work ethics and you got to have integrity because you're out there dealing with the public, and what the public expects from us is public servants, is public trust. That public trust is very important and it's very vital for us when we show up to someone's emergency, because if they can't trust us, then things tend to go sideways. So as long as we make sure that we maintain that good reputation to have a relationship with the public and they trust us, it makes things go much easier. Public trust is probably one of the most important values that we have to maintain, and that's both on or off duty. As a firefighter, paramedic, EMT, a lieutenant, a captain in this department, your moral ethics have to be in good standing, again, both on and off duty, because if I turn around and I get arrested for DUI, then the headlines that will hit the paper, it's not going to be Craig Stevens was arrested for DUI, it'll be fire chief arrested for DUI. And then that paints a bad picture to the entire department, to the community. So again, we have to make sure that we live good ethical lives on and off duty. We have to make sure that the citizens obviously are most important, and those are what come first. I would say probably the biggest thing that you have to want to do to be a firefighter, an EMT, a paramedic, is you got to want to be able to help people. Okay, it can't be a lot of people. This job isn't cut out for them, and there are some bad things that we see. There are some traumatic things that we see. As a paramedic and an EMT, you're going to see blood, you're going to see body parts. As a firefighter, you're going to see the same. So there are some things that obviously drive people away from this career. But the good thing is that day that you make a difference in someone's life, the day that you show up and it's their worst day in their life and you make it better. So being in the fire service, it's probably the best thing I ever did. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate you being here, and enjoy the rest of the expo.